Hey guys, for today's build, I'm going to construct a little putting green for the garage here, hopefully to go in that corner. I've got the chipping pad already into the net, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to have a place to putt, practice your putts in the winter as well. Here in Canada, it's cold and snowy right now, so got some materials. It's going to be 10 feet long, so I've got some 2x4x10s. I've got some trim pieces I'm going to use for the outside to clean up the edges a little bit, and then a couple 2x4s I had laying around. I probably won't need a whole lot, and just some thin flexible plywood. I had this pre-cut at Home Depot to 2.5 feet wide. I figured that would be a decent sized putting surface, so I can do that in sections and hopefully going to incorporate a way to adjust to have actually to be able to change the slope in the center, just so it's not just a flat putting green, because that would get boring after a while. So got my official golf cups, got my screws, just waiting for the garage to heat up here and going to get to it. Okay, I've just cut a bunch of 27-inch 2x4 lengths. That's going to be the braces between the 10 footers. I don't know exactly how many I'll need, but I'll kind of find out as I go here. So let's get them put on. Okay, basic frame is together. I've added some center supports there. 2x10s definitely weren't the straightest ones I could have got, but as I add more weight to it, it seems to take the wobble out a little bit. So I don't think it'll be a problem. Gonna figure out what to do for the center portion, because that's the one you'll be able to adjust depending on the slope of the green you want, and hopefully it works out. Okay, first piece of plywood is on the frame. I chose to glue and nail this because you don't want any warps or anything, especially with a putting green. I want it to be pretty consistent, but I'm gonna work my way down here and see how it turns out. Okay, so I've cut the center plywood in two here, leaving about an inch gap in the middle to keep the center supporting brace exposed. And my idea here is I'm going to take these hinges and hopefully hinge these center pieces like that, so that you can actually change the slope. So when it's propped up on this side like that, you'll have a bit of a slope you're able to change to however you want to putt that day. So I'm going to put those in there, then I'll take the center piece, I'll put that back in the middle and sand everything after, make sure everything's super smooth. Just playing around with where I should put the cups as well over there, whether I should have one or two, haven't decided yet. And so ideally, when I lay the grass over top of it, it's going to be smooth and you'll be able to adjust your slope. Okay, center pieces are in here. So they're hinged in the middle. There's the hinges. So it really only needs to lift up about an inch or so to give you that good realistic roll. Doesn't need to go very high. So that's finished there. I'm going to put the center piece back in. Smooth everything out, glue and nail that in, then I'll have to sand the top just so this is perfectly flat so you don't get a weird roll with the ball, and then move on to the last easy part here. Okay, so I've reinforced this area here because that's probably where we're going to be standing, of course. I'm gonna put the last piece of plywood on and then figure out the hole positioning. Okay, got the turf delivered here. Super happy with the quality. So I think it's gonna work out great. So ideally, that's gonna kind of smooth out all the cracks and everything when it is glued down. I'm gonna have to cut this, of course, but did a little dry run with lifting this up and seems to work fine. If you only lifted about an inch or so, so should do the job. Okay, so I did decide to go with 2 holes. So I cut those ones here. These cups are just sitting in there right now. It's pretty much how they're gonna sit. So I think that'll give you a little bit of a variety of how you wanna approach it. Next thing, I'm gonna lay some glue down, roll the turf out, and get the turf glued down. Okay, the turf is glued down. It's gonna have to be trimmed, of course, but a little bit tricky getting the glue to hold it evenly. Hopefully it turns out nice. Wasn't a whole lot of great glues out there for this, but there we go. Top is trimmed. Everything's fitting nice. Holes are just loose fitted in there right now. Have to secure those down. Turf is nice and glued. I'm just gonna prop this up just for proof of concept in here with a lighter. Moves nicely. Exactly where you want it to go. Of course, the rails will be on the edge. There we go. So it works. Stain's still drying on that side. So probably gonna have to wait till the morning here, but I will have her all finished and done for you guys tomorrow. Get the holes secured and this project's finished. So I built some frames just to kind of box in the holes on the bottom to keep that as tight as I possibly could. Squeeze them in and then put a little bit of glue around just to make sure the holes don't move. That's just setting right now. So I'm also gonna build a small little pad for your feet that's gonna be off the green. I figured if you're always standing on here, it's gonna get kind of dirty with your shoes. As well, if you want to putt on the edge, you're not really going to be able to do that. I had some spare turf left over anyway. So just built a small box here. It's going to sit here, or you can move it wherever you want on the green if you want to practice a shorter putt. And that's going to be a lot easier to clean than cleaning the main surface. Okay, the putting green is officially finished. So a couple things that I didn't film the entire process because I got too caught up in working on is doing all the trim pieces so everything's trimmed, and I think it looks awesome. Went for that darker stain, kind of makes it look a little bit rustic. And of course you can move this down to wherever you want it to be. These ones here, these handles, these are actually furniture legs with a dowel that I glued in there. And this is what lets you do the angle. So there's a hole in each side in the center. And all you do is insert that, push it, and there's your angle. There's a wedge on the other side, basically right here on the opposite end. And the further you push it in, more angle you have. Pull it out a bit if you want a bit of an angle, push it in for the most angle that it has, which is super simple system. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think it looks amazing. Get a couple shots here. So let's do some putting. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you want to see more projects, either do-it-yourself stuff or golf or whatever, hit the subscribe button and let me know that I'm doing the right thing. Till next time.